We're at Moose Pond today. We're getting ready to haul the boat down. It's a little muddy. Rained most of the day. Kind of cool. High 40s probably. Still raining a little bit, but really not much wind. So hopefully we're gonna get into some largemouth bass. Or she is muddy. Getting in here is not gonna be the easy part. It's getting out later. Pulling the boat up this hill. The water. Up until just a couple of years ago, we used to keep our boat right in here so we could quickly make a fishing trip. Now it's a little bit extra work, but it probably keeps people out of here. I'm sure the fishing's gonna be good. Here we go. Getting that boat out here. I'm gonna step in.
Yep.
With all the water that I'm bringing with me. I'm wading out. Alright, I'm gonna get over here and sit down for a second. Well, that's alright, that pole's pretty tough. Alright, let's get this motor in the water. Typically we just go around the pond. The water's high still. There's no weed growth to speak of yet. We'll see what we can do here. The equipment takes a beating. Whoops. I got a, as you can see, I got a brush hog on. I'm just going to throw that a little bit around this point, see if there's anything idea. It's usually a good bet to catch something quick. Right here. It'll kind of give us an indicator of where there's any bass shallow or not. It's a good shallow technique. Oh man, I don't know why my drag's all loose. I had a good one on.
Oh no.
Oh, he's on. I got one on. I don't know if that was my second or third cast. So I mean, my drag was all loose. I go in to set the hook and it didn't do anything. So, not a giant one, probably pound and a half, pound and 3/4. Throw him back. The biggest thing you can do wrong right now is fish too fast. I just let them pick that one up off the bottom. And you can see there's a stream coming in right here. We got this rain today, and there's fish all probably off the edge of it. There's one right there. It's a chunky one. Not a giant by any means, but big male. I don't know if the camera can see it, but there's a brook coming in right here, and it's just like making like a stream right out into the pond. I'm just casting it off the end of it, end of that stream. Not really doing too much, but letting it do its own thing. I didn't quite get in there far enough. This one's got it, I think. Yeah, he's running for the boat. That one I couldn't feel the fish, but I couldn't feel my lure either. That told me there was something had it. A lot of male bass in here right now. So we know we can catch some males. We might have to search a little deeper for the females. Or some deeper shorelines at least. Oh, he's got one on. He's fighting, ain't he? Yeah. It's a good one. So, it didn't take long, we're into the fish here already. Turn this boat around. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Oh, I had a bite already. They're right around the edge of this. I'm sure there's feed that's getting pushed in here. Stand up here, see it a little better. See that brown? I'm gonna cast on the outer edge of it over here. See if there's anything home. These Texas rigged creature baits is a fun way to fish. I'm gonna get off this. Probably a little too close to show now. I'm gonna see what's along this grassy shoreline here. Shallow weeds feels like. Oh. I'm gonna make a cast back here by that brown again. We'll go around this cove and see if it tells if there's any fish in here or not. It's wet, it's a little breezy. That's what a rain suit's for. I bet you there'll be one right off the line of that brush right over there. See that line of brush coming out off that beaver house? I bet you there'll be one right on that.
I'm using a G Loomis rod with a Shimano reel. I have been comfortable with a bait caster for many years, and it's the best way to experience this type of fishing. Tied on is a Zoom brush hog in pumpkin color. I have a 1/8 ounce tungsten cone weight. The hook is a 4/0 wide gap Gamakatsu with 14-pound Berkeley Vanish fluorocarbon. Watching these videos allows me to critique myself. I am often fishing too fast. Even though I am conscious of it, I work too fast because the excitement is just too much. I have had many days where someone with much less experience has outfished me. Undoubtedly for this reason.
Try not to fish too fast here. Right in the edge of that brush. Yeah, you should get one bite right there. There's one there. Little guy. Going right in on it here, but I think I can get another cast in there really quick. I bet you there's one right off the end of that brush if you get in there. Yeah, right in, well, a little far beyond it. Get right on the edge of this brush. Oh, geez. It's got a nest right there, don't it?
I thought I see something there.
Nest right on top of the beaver house. I didn't see it there. Well, we'll get out of here.
I see something there. I didn't look at it.
I see eggs on it, so we better get off it. Get out of here. There's eggs on that nest, so hopefully it's gonna go right back to it. I never saw it there. Usually they give you a warning, you know. I think it thought it would do the silent approach, and then we wouldn't notice. Go back to your nest. We ain't gonna bother you. Quickly trying to get up the shoreline here so it'll hopefully go around us and get back on its nest. Oh, one just took it right there. I lost him. I'm afraid the wind is going to be a pain here. Cast it in that little. You're the one making the choice to swim way out there, you crazy goose. We are nowhere near your nest now. One thing I do know that I'm doing right now is I'm fishing a little too fast, and usually, and a lot of that has to do with this because it's so windy. I'm also running the boat. Lay into him. I got one.
Oh,
It's a good one. Run right for the boat. Whoa! He thought he was gonna dive under the boat. See if I can get him in. He's as big as I thought, but he's over 2. Wow, yeah. Look at that. We'll take that. Right hooked right inside the mouth. Put him back. Been fishing this brush hog religiously for probably the past 20 years. Still catches them. Goose is headed back to its nest finally. I would never have gone over there if I'd have known it was there. Oh, see that water coming in right there?
yeah, see it.
You're going to want to cast it on the edge of that brown. I'll get in there a little closer, right off the tip of where it's coming in. Okay? I bet
Even though my dad is an experienced fisherman, I can't let go of the guide inside of me.
Good pattern, I guess, right now. The fish seem like they're active. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a brown line coming into the water's runoff here. There should be a fish on the end of it. Might be a little too shallow. Just keep going out off the end of it. Try not to fish too fast. I don't have a thermometer with me, but it's not that warm. And if it's cold, you gotta fish slow. You have to fish slower. I think it's kind of early. Probably a better technique would be something other than throwing a plastic right now, but it seems to be working. A jig would probably work good, or jerk bait. Let's try right by this tree here. Not much here, is there? Still early. If you're not getting fished by trees like this, tells you it's probably a little early still. They'll be all over this in a couple of weeks. Not seeing any following it. Okay, I'm taking off. Gonna be wet and nasty, ain't it? We'll get this shore, wet shore, out of the way, and we'll windier shore. We'll come back down through that calmer side. Probably by the time we do that, the wind will shift. I like the looks. There's a lot of trees in the water up through here. And they're all new trees, so this pond took a beating over the winter too. We had a lot of trees come down this year from a late heavy snow, two back-to-back heavy wet snowstorms. Took a lot of trees down. Get right on the end of that tree. Good bat right here. Oh, I had a pickerel that took it, looked like. I didn't get him, obviously. Usually you get a lot of, I think he's after it right now. Yeah, pickerel. Pickerel come in to spawn before the bass, so you're bound to get them shallow early. Not seeing a lot of bass swimming in the shallow, so I think we're gonna find them on the deeper shorelines. They're gonna be up on the upper end of the lake probably anyway. The north end of the lake, the water warms up the quickest because it gets some sun all day long. We're down on the southwestern end of the lake. But I still, bass will be in cold water. They're active all year long. People that think they're not active in the winter have never been ice fishing. So. They're just not as active and they're not as aggressive. I'd throw a jerk bait. I'd throw a jerk bait. I do. I got a million of them. It ain't gonna hurt to try anything. I'm thinking about a jerk bait. I don't think you wanna throw it shallow. I think you wanna throw it out on the edge where it starts to drop off. Got a bunch of different ones here. I don't think I want anything too big. Try this one. I don't know what it's going to do. That's what them all. Yep. Grab one, try one. I'm gonna give this a whirl a few casts because I don't think they're really up on the bank yet. They don't seem to be. We would have got them around them trees already. I know. And I don't think you want to cast, and I'm using a short rod here. It ain't even a 6 foot. So I can I want to get to know the action of this lure. It looks good. He doesn't sink too quick. I'm gonna get out probably good 20 feet from shore. Start there. And try not to fish too fast. You want to have a lot of slack in your line. And when they go to hit it, they're going to knock a slack right out of the line. Process elimination right here. But a jerk bait's a good way to go. Just you can't fish it too fast. I like this reel I got. Brand new reel I'm trying out here. Luger President Series. Cast a mile. Not that I need a mile.
I learned to cast with both hands as a kid, but as a general approach, I cast a bait caster with my left and a spinning with my right, and I reel right-handed. If you know Bill Dance, you are probably familiar with twitch, twitch, pause. I'm attempting to demonstrate here, but I'm still fishing too fast. mostly because I keep tending to the motor. Pauses really should be up to 10 seconds.
A lot of times I just throw it kind of one-handed. I don't know why I've always done the jerkbait that way. And when I get a strike, I grab my reel with my other hand after I get it on. This works really good over old submerged weeds, which we're kind of on a barren shore right here. There's not a lot going on, so probably wasn't the best place to try this. Might be better up in that corner right up here coming ahead. Thinking around the corner too, there's a big cove up here on the other end of the lake that we should be able to figure them out.
As you can see, a lot of my attention is on my rod and reel. That's because this is mostly a feel technique that you could actually do with your eyes closed.
You hung into something rock here, I can see it.
Just into something.
Just give it some slack, shake it off. Like you get on that rock, I can see a rock here, see it?
A lot of times when fishing a jerkbait, the front lip of the lure will snag up. The hooks usually are still hanging free. Some slack line and a shake of the rod tip will usually free it up.
Shake it. Shake it. It's not usually hung up, it's just it's buried into it. That's all. Figuring them out here, still trying to figure them out. Not really onto a pattern yet, other than where that water came in there. We got a few early. No. Most places have been around old weed growth. I do quite well with this rod I used to. Going too fast again. While I'm ready, I'm going to throw a couple casts on this log with this brush hog. They're not shallow yet. We'll figure them out, don't you worry, we're on the track of them. Don't put that away yet, because it might be work around them weeds up here. I just want to do a cast on that tree.
As is typical in bass fishing, multiple rods with various lures tied on can help you quickly change techniques for the current conditions. I rarely have less than 5 different rods handy at any given moment.
You gotta find the right depth. They might be out in the middle still. We ain't gonna know until we go up through here. I like a short rod because it doesn't hit the water when I'm jerking it down. Or it doesn't touch the water as much. And I'm pretty much almost reserved around the boat all the time, this wind. So it does impact how I fish. It's okay. Not gonna give up here, figure them out. I just don't want to fish too fast. Haven't figured them out yet. Weed bed I'm kind of casting around there.
And just when I pause to run the motor, this is what happens.
Yeah, you hit it there. I just had it paused. Yeah. Hit that jerk bait. Get him over here. They're in the bottom of the jaw, of course. He picked that one up while it was paused. Need pliers when you're fishing with these trebles. Alright, you can go back. Alright. I had a feeling we get up here when it's a little bit more weedier bottom, we might get into some. I can't even describe how slow you have to fish. You wouldn't think a lure like that you would fish that slow, but there's a big boulder right there, see it? Quite a ways away from shore here. Fish are definitely pre-spawn right now. Wind's blowing us right to shore here. Wow, this is something else. You know what I mean?
When the fish are on jerk baits, it can be a fun way to catch them, but when they aren't, it can be incredibly dull. It isn't long before I abandon this technique and go to what has become my signature. Stick with me here. Fish are coming.
Actually, this time of year pre-spawning, I get luck throwing on the other side of the boat, not toward shore. We get always so fascinated about fishing the shoreline, but it's not always the fish always are. I do hear water running in on shore behind us.
It's always a good place for,
Might be a good spot right here to throw it.
good place for big bass in there.
I can't see where it's coming in, but oh, in the bushes there. The fish aren't in your shallow like they normally would be. Still early, I can tell. I would have got bit already.
Sometimes it isn't always about the lure and the technique. It's also about the quality and location of the lure cast. Here I'm trying to hit little pockets in the grass and brush along the bank.
Still early. But I'm sure it was a warmer day though. They would move up in here, but it's not. More likely they're out behind us in the break line where it's starting to drop. A little bit deeper water.
We stick with the bank. I'm confident that productive water is ahead. I've guided this pond for almost 30 years, and fishing can turn around on the very next cast.
Still early. Let's run right on shore there. Just as soon as it hit the water, thunk thunk. Male. Bigger male. Cut the motor for a second. A little bigger than I thought. Chunky one there. Football. That was fun. That was right on the bank. Literally, you can kind of see it's a undercut bank here. That fish was right on the edge. Literally, I had to throw it right on its head. A lot of geese around here. There's a few shallow, but not, we'd be getting more bites. Going as tight as I can to the bank. Hopefully there's one sitting there. Had one on, didn't even realize it. Someone right for the boat. Sometimes I'll pick it up and you don't feel it. Oh no. Oh, I gotta go over the bushes. Get back in there. Wow, we gotta start catching some here. Oh, that was a good bite too. I didn't get in. I'm going right back in there. Must have been a small fish. 'Cause I didn't give him. I gave him a good hook set. So I don't think he had it in his mouth. Gotta be one behind this log sticking out here. Comes on right here. No, maybe not.
If you look closely in the water, you can see lily pads starting to come up. This will be covered by the end of the month.
Alright, get in here. Log. That's a good one. Felt like he was. I guess he's not. Man, he was tugging. Heading right in on shore here. Fat one, but not a big one. Alright. Got a lot on this one brush hog. It's pretty beat up. I just felt a tap. Lightest tap you can imagine. You're not gonna feel bites most of the time. You just get to feel the weight on your line. You feel that weight on your line. It's a fish. A lot of people get a lot of bites. They don't even realize they get bites. It takes practice.
I'm still new to wearing video. I had noticed that my camera was tilted down.
These are all males we're getting. Females are out deeper still. lost track of how many we got.
I ain't got many.
You will. You will. Gotta use the right lure. Yeah, you're lucky. Boats all over the place here. See a beaver house right in there. See it? Cast right in front of that. This one. Oh, he come off. He come off. He got my bait. Got my lure. Alright, so that was my one chance at fishing brush hogs, because I think it's the only one I brought. So I don't know for sure, but it's my opportunity to throw something else. Yeah, it's alright. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna throw jig. I'll see how many different lures I can catch them on here. I got 2 different lures. I got them on already. I'll go keep them there somewhere. I might go back to it. Jig, I can be a little bit more precise with my casts. I got a brown one on here with a one of the tails missing off my rage craw. But you know what? It's gonna work, I bet you. The reason it's missing the tail is because a fish ripped it off at some point. This is a sunfish color. Sunfish, crayfish. We get up here in this corner, it looks like it's going to start going a little bit more calm. You might be able to get away with throwing a floater. Yeah, that was felt like a good fish. We would have had it, must have had it below my hook. And ripped it right off. There's always fish hanging around them beaver houses. They love them sticks. It holds a lot of bait. Stuff to eat. Go in there with the jig, see if we get a bite. Oh, I had a bite right there. You can get him. Now I gotta get used to feel this jig after throwing that brush. Something small was hitting that yellow perch probably.
I'm now throwing a 3/8 ounce flipping jig that I made with a rage craw trailer. This is also a 14-pound fluorocarbon with a 7-foot G Loomis rod and a Shimano reel.
When in doubt, I set the hook, as you can tell. When in doubt, I set the hook. lot of times when it feels funny, that's a fish. It's really shallow right here. I like casting around this wood. And we're getting kind of on the northern shoreline. There's a lot of black bottom here. So the water's probably warmer here than any other place in the pond. Although today won't matter as much because it's overcast. Stick, leaf or something. Yeah, now we gotta get back in on shore since I don't know why it went way out here. I can hear one of them kinglets. They got for a small bird, they got an awful long, pretty call. Kinglet. Pretty shallow here, probably too shallow for a jig, really. But they'll eat it if there's something here. There's another beaver house right here. Alright, I'll get over here in front of this beaver house and make a couple casts. Oh. I'm just really firing it in at these sticks here. See if there's one sitting by any of them. Felt funny there, but it wasn't. I'm grabbing a stick, I think. Water's not as high as I've seen it for this time of year. Where's your worm?
What happened?
What do you mean what happened? Did you get a bite?
Something hit it.
Pickerel probably bit you right off.
Forget it.
I I got a bite a second ago there. Too far from shore now. Yeah. You got hooks handy?
Somewhere.
I got some. Grabbing bottom.
As you can see, I have changed my pace. It is shallow, and I am keeping my jig from digging into the mud by hopping it. This technique has been deadly for me over the years.
Running for the boat. He hit it so hard it knocked slack in my line. Not a big one, but boy, he hit it good. He was right off that log. I'm in the water log there. Alright, let me try in there again, a little bit beyond his another stump there. Ooh. I got a nibble. I got line all over the place. I put that lure right back in the boat. Alright, here we go again. Okay, we're starting to get where it's a little calmier now. Might be able to throw a top water. Don't know. Early. Green slime all over it. That's something you don't usually see this time of year. Look at all that green slime. I'm gonna see if there's a fish underneath it. Fish around it. Oh man, there was. Oh, I didn't get him. I was a little late on him. I figured I'd go right in the shady side of that. Big balls of slime, there was one there. Oh, he ain't gonna come back either. All I can hope is another one here somewhere on the other side. Just fish around it here for a minute. Huh. That's unbelievable. He hit one right off there. And if we can make out that slime, ball of slime right here. Big thing of it. In the water right here beside the boat. There was a fish hanging right in it. Let's try here off this bank. Yes, sir. Right on that bank. The little male, yeah. He took that jig in there sideways. Little guy. Alright, back on this bank over here. See if I can get another one here. Oh, that was a bigger one. That was a bigger one. He swam towards the boat and got off. Boy, I see him wake on it. He took off so fast that when I went to set the hook, didn't get a good hook set. Yeah. Wow, there's fish up here on this. Like I said, this is the northern end. There's gonna be fish on this shore. It's probably the warmest water. And you gotta get that cast right on the bank. That was not close enough. Oh. And you see this lure, it's got a little bit of blue in it. A little bit of brown. Keep making casts. He took that one. Jumper. Bigger male, I think. Look at the markings on this one. Those are pretty bass. Boy. Real pretty bass. Alright, let's get another one. They're on this shore.
Unfortunately, the video cut out before the real fishing began. In the excitement of getting ready for the trip, I forgot another battery. I went on to catch another 32 bass on a jig and my dad another 20 plus. It would have been a great video, but really saved me a couple hours of editing. So you won't hear me say one more cast. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Our Maine Obsession.